sento uno schianto. Come Cristiano
She's not
Ronaldo.
again, guys. Timeless, ageless, inevitable. Wow. Even at age 40, Cristiano Ronaldo still wins games for Portugal. Like, I don't think, ultimately, if you're a Messi fan and you want to hate whatever, this is a podcast for anybody, right? So I'm not necessarily going to get into that. But whichever side you stand on in the whole debate, you can't deny the fact that what he's still doing at 40 is incredible. The passion he still shows after he scores is incredible. Cristiano Ronaldo does it again for Portugal as they knock out Germany to qualify for the finals of the UEFA Nations League. So, if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Jeff. I host this podcast with my friend Casey, who is absent again. You know, this is his mic. He's absent again because personal reasons. Let me just say that. So ultimately, we have this podcast. We just talk about football, we react to news, to transfer rumors, to games, obviously, and we just try to give you our unbiased and very, very entertaining take. So if you guys like what you hear in this episode, you know, feel free to check out the other thing on our channel. Yeah, and this is the first time I'm recording since the Champions League final. So obviously, if you guys follow our socials and stuff, you'd have think we had to go first, and it was a blast. Like, it was crazy. Casey was there for that. We even have some interviews we did with people on the channel, so you guys can check that out after if you guys want. You know, lots of people there. I don't know if you all know J. Paul, like if PBN fans, 2021, he met him, very, very nice guy. And other people too. It was a very, very fun day. Miyoko was killing it. He performed, and yeah, it was just a very, very good day. But after that day, I was like, what am I supposed to do myself now? There's no football, there's no what am I supposed to do? And then on Sunday, I just checked, I was like, there's Nations League this week, and I was like, yes, Germany versus Portugal, Spain versus France, this is football. And ultimately, when the game started last night, it was as I expected it. I expected it to be crazy. I think if you watch this match and you're expecting loads of goals and you're expecting Portugal to come out and attack, or Germany to come out and beat Portugal like 2-3-0, whatever, that was not going to be the case. Because the way the two things set up, it was just going to set up a KD match. And the first half, ultimately, you know, it was very, very crazy. Both teams feeling each other. You had the beginning where Portugal started with dominance. You know, they kept on hitting Germany on the counter attack. So anytime when Germany would turn over the ball, boom, Neto, boom, Trek, boom, Bruno, Ronaldo, we were looking to score. And ultimately, that happened for like 15 minutes. And then Germany had their spell of possession where they managed to get first into the game. I think he had the PC second. I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you definitely be excited. And he looked really, really good. I ultimately am saying that he's that guy, but a lot of people are still struggling to see why Liverpool bought him at that price. I think you guys all got like literally was 20% of Verts capable of last night. But ultimately with Germany, they got Verts into the game, they got Kimmich into the game, you know, they got Sané into the game a bit more, and they started controlling the game. You know, we got it as well. So, and that happened for another 15 minutes. And then the last 15 minutes of the first half was just nothing really happened. It was just a tactical master. It wasn't a massacre. It was just a tactical battle between Nagelsmann and Roberto Martinez at the end of the day. So after the first half, obviously being a Ronaldo fan myself, I was going Portugal to win the match. So during halftime, my confidence didn't necessarily go. Why? Because someone actually asked me who I think is going to win, and this was after halftime. And I went, if you pick Germany coming into this match from that first half performance, there's absolutely no reason for you to change your pick. And if you like me, pick Portugal, there's absolutely no reason for you to change your pick as well. So the reason why I still went Portugal after the halftime was because I looked at the benches, right? I looked at Ilya on the bench, I looked at Felix on the bench, I looked at Vitinha on the bench, who I had no idea why he didn't start. It's crazy. And I just went, Portugal does have too much quality in their squad. And the German bench, like obviously Musiala wasn't even in the squad. They had Adeyemi and that, but it wasn't up the standard. So even when Germany scored, I wasn't worried. I was like, good goal. Wait, first of all, it wasn't even a good goal. I feel like that goal was offside. Get to the comment section, let me know what you guys think. But I'm like, if we're giving goals for that now, I'm going to have an issue because there's no consistency. When Kimmich plays the ball over the top, you can obviously see that striker basically just stops Ruben Dias from getting to Vert. And I'm trying never using my Ronaldo collect that. Get the comment section, let me know what you think. If you think that was a penalty, I guess fair play, but I personally didn't think it. If you think that was a goal, fair play. That person didn't think it was. But yeah, it is what it is. The goal is given. And I've always criticized Roberto Martinez because in my opinion, he's just the Spanish Southgate. I don't think anything good about him. But credit where credit is due. What does he do? He makes sub. And these three subs he made, he basically changed the whole game. I've been calling for him to make these subs since like literally when I saw eventually I expected those subs to come out immediately after half time. I waited for like an hour to make those subs. And those subs completely changed the game. What did he do? He brought on Vitinha for Ruben Neves, he brought on Conceição for Trincao, and he brought on Semedo for João Neves, who I didn't necessarily understand the whole João Neves right back thing. I don't know. Ultimately, it was for him to invest into the midfield. I just thought it was very stupid thing to do. And instantly, the game changed. Why? Because he actually brought on a top 5 midfielder in the world. And ultimately, whoever you choose to put in, is he your top 1, top 2, top 3? He's top 5. And I don't think anyone can argue with that. Apart from ESPN's stupid rankings, which ultimately, if you guys listen to ESPN to this time, like, I really do. But the moment when Vitinha came, you just see the midfield just became calm. Bruno was able to play his game, Bernardo was able to play his game, and Conceição was exceptional. Because the amount of times in the second half where Trincao had the chance to go after their left back, but he didn't do anything. He had a chance to go after Mito started that with him, I think so. He didn't do anything. But the moment when Conceição got the ball, he was trying like, I'm going to show you why I should have played this game. He was trying, he just kept on going at him. And from there, Germany started to worry. You could see it immediately that anytime he got the ball, it was a problem. And that's exactly where their first goal came from. Maybe when he gets the ball, he just cuts inside, boom. Everybody's backing up, and just whips it, used to go into the top corner. And from there, Portugal was just, and I like the fact that Portugal didn't relent. They thought this is 1-0. Why don't you sit on that? Because that's what Germany did. Germany scored and then they started back and decided to defend. Portugal were like, nah, we ain't doing that. Like what they initially did was they just kept on pushing, we're gonna get second goal. And the second goal came from Ronaldo. Before I get into what I thought of Ronaldo in the match, shout out to Nuno Mendes. Because I think for the past 5-6 years, I feel like we've been starved of left backs. Obviously, we had Alfonso Davies and like Robertson, but like for like the past 5-6 years, the best left back in the world, people will say is Robertson or whatever. I personally always thought it was Theo Hernandez. Who said it was Robertson? And like, you know, Robertson, Alfonso Davies, Theo Hernandez, they're all great. Obviously, DeMarco, so but like, we just haven't really had like an outright like world class left back. And I think now Nuno Mendes is clearly the best left back in the world. And it's about time because centre backs, we've always had outstanding centre backs. We've always had good right backs, you know, with Hakimi and Trent and Carvajal to a certain extent. You know, before that, you know, the age of like Dani Alves and all these guys, they've always had good right backs. I don't think we've really had like a clear world class left back since like Marcelo, in my opinion, maybe Jordi Alba. I'm just very happy that finally we have one in Nuno Mendes. He is absolutely exceptional. Like what he does to that small side, I don't even think Neto played well, but that right wing, Nuno Mendes was just like, I'm just going to control this thing. People going forward and defensively, because even on defense, Stanley couldn't do anything to him, and going forward, he was exceptional. Even look at the goal Ronaldo scored. One to Bruno, like the pass on Bruno, like. It was an okay pass, like the burst of speed that Nuno Mendes just carried the ball and just crossed it. It was exceptional, and I'm just very happy to finally seeing a good left back. And I also mentioned Ronaldo, right place, right time, barely on time. And people are saying he was offside. I'm like, we actually have here for a reason. And ultimately, after the goal was scored, we saw the line, and he kept himself onside. The one thing I'll say about Ronaldo, whether or not I thought he had a good game or not, I'm not still in awe of him. He's not what he used to be before. If you didn't watch Prime Ronaldo, then I feel bad for you. But like what Ronaldo was, this isn't even 5% of what he was. But what Ronaldo will always be to the day he's like 70 or 80 at this point is that he always knows how to be in the right place at the right time. Because the moment where Bruno Fernandes and Nuno Mendes play that one, immediately he's on the move. Immediately. Quicker than Car and quicker than Cock that was in their defense. Boom, and he's tapping it home. And that thing is, you don't have to be pacey, you don't always need to be in the right position. And for any young striker out there, like ultimately, they still watch Cristiano Ronaldo because that movement is still lethal at his age. And he tapped it in 2-1. And then that's when you see the master. Like that's when you see why I, along with many others, rate Vitinha so much. Like what Portugal did at the end of the match, just to keep that game off, was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was literally a masterclass of how just like you didn't even score again, which ultimately they should have. You see that chance that Conceição missed and everything. I thought Ronaldo gave him that pass. Like they should have played the game up there. But like at no point did you actually think Germany were going to equalize. I definitely didn't because Portugal managed that game excellently. And ultimately, I still think they're going to get their ass whooped by either Spain or France because obviously that's something that's happening today. I still think they're going to get their ass whooped. But to reach the final, anything happening in the final, that's the thing. You try to just get there. You know, look at Wigan versus Man City 2013. You know, football knowledge, you know, yeah. But like anything can happen in the final, anything. So Portugal get it, and it gives themselves the chance. Like, you give yourself a chance. And if you're watching a podcast like I am, like who do you think? Get the comment section. Like who do you think Portugal would rather face? Spain, France? Ultimately, I think if you're Portugal, I think you want is. I don't think you want Spain, just because like Spain don't play as fast as France, and I think with Portugal's centre backs, you notice a lot of times January able to get in behind them. You know, so I don't think you'd want Mbappe and Dembele and Doué running in behind. But at the same time, with Spain, you still have Lamine and you still have. I actually don't know. That's why I said it. I think Portugal are going to lose regardless. But people still. When everybody gets shocked about, bro, all the time. I don't find this all the time. But to the match this night, obviously, what actually happened between Spain and France? I actually don't know. And this is what makes the match very interesting because. Both teams, obviously, we saw them playing the Euros and Spain came out on top, but that was a different France and that was a different Spain. One, Lamine wasn't this level of player for starters. Pedri wasn't even in that match at the time, and Pedri has gotten a lot better since then. Fabian Ruiz has gone up another level. And for France, they didn't have Doué, they didn't have this Doué in the mix at the time. Mbappe wasn't even at form at the time, which he is at the moment. And the potential Ballon d'Or winner, Dembele, wasn't playing like this. So I just think it changes a lot. Ultimately, I think where this game is going to be won or lost is going to be in the midfield, as obviously the common saying in football. Like, how much of possession can France get? Because if Spain are going to pull up there with Fabian, I don't think it's many stuff for them. We're going to play with Fabian, Pedri, and I don't know who was, maybe Olmo, I don't know, or maybe Diego is with Mendy if you want to be more defensive. I don't think so. But if Spain pull up with that midfield play, how much of the ball can France actually get? And if France can get that much of the ball, how important is it going to be for them to win the ball high up? Because if they can win the ball high up, instantly they have Dembele on one, they have Mbappe to the middle, they have Doué at the other side. Or maybe they start to DC like, bro, the option France have, man, it's crazy. Olise, Doué, Colomboani, Thuram is crazy. So I'm interested to see how much possession France actually gets, because if Spain come out here and they dominate the ball and they keep creating chances, Lamine is creating chances, Nico Williams doing the same thing on the other side, Pedri is dictating the play, that's when I think Spain become very, very unstoppable. Very, very unstoppable, because Spain are very, 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 very dangerous when you have you pinned back and you have their wingers running at your left back and your right back and they're putting balls into the box, cutting cutbacks and things like that. It's a problem. But France on the attack, and France defensively are very, very good, by the way. Obviously, you have Saliba, they have Konate, and they also have Upamecano. But I'd imagine to be Konate and Saliba that start. And that's a very, very good back four. But what is France's answer to Lamine Yamal? Are they going to put Theo Hernandez there? Didn't necessarily work in the US. You know, I'm not for Spain as well. Are you going to put Cucurella on Dembele? Because that's food. So I don't even have a prediction for that. I'm just interested to see how it goes. And let's see how it goes this night. So last thing before I go, just look at a couple of transfer rumors. In a while since I don't think we've even discussed transfer here. We haven't discussed transfers here in a while. So let's see. Ultimately, with the Mbeumo thing. But to Manchester United, what do you guys think about that? Because ultimately, as a Manchester United fan, I love it. I feel when you finish the way you finished last season, 15th, and obviously we didn't win the trophy, you need to just, it needs to be like a complete, like, I hear people saying like, oh, where's Mbeumo going to play? Where's Cunha? What's going to happen to Zexi? What's going to happen to Mount? I'm like, after the season that we had, nobody is safe. Which is why what I won't be opposed to Bruno going. But like you can't bring in better players and ask them where this person will play. It doesn't matter. They were trash. That's why you're getting better players in. I mean, Jokeris at the end of the day, like if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, let me know because I'm genuinely confused. Like so you need a striker, right? That's going to get you goals to win the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League, right? And you have the top scorer in Europe in Jokeris that's available for 60 million, right? And you have already the best young striker in the world, maybe after Isak, I guess, in Chelsea, who has been playing in Bundesliga, but isn't as prolific or as experienced as Jokeris is, or Jokeris, however you want to pronounce it. Like, why does Arsenal want to go for Sesko instead? I don't get it. And also, if you're an Arsenal fan, please let me know because I don't get it. Like, is it like the link-up player? I don't get it. But the way I look at it for Arsenal, I watched the PSG game that you guys went out, and I watched how many games you guys dropped points. I ended up that made you guys, I don't know, they lose the league to Liverpool. And the one thing I took away from any of those games is that if you guys had a prolific number 9 that is going to put the ball in the back of the net, you guys are going to win the league. And if you guys find Sesko needs like a year or whatever to adjust, you're wasting time. Manchester United could get better. Manchester are going to get better. So you guys need to hit the ground running now. With Jokeris, as a Manchester United fan, I pray Jokeris comes to us. So for about go for Sesko, but I'm not a little curious. And even with Chelsea as well, like why are you buying the lap? Good player, but if you're going to buy the lap and buy another striker, then now that's very good. I think the lap is good, but the lap can't be a number 1 striker, which is exactly why. Even with Jokeris again, like why aren't Chelsea going for Jokeris? Why aren't Chelsea going for Osimhen? If you're going to pull up next season with Jackson and the lap, I'm sorry, but you're not going to win anything. There's no conference league for people to play next year. You're not going to win Champions League with Delap and Jackson. I'm not going to win Champions League or you're not going to win the Premier League with Delap and Jackson either. Like because it's also confusing to me. Like why do Chelsea buy wingers and buy midfielders and buy and buy keepers and buy like they haven't gotten themselves like a prolific striker. Like do you know what Jokeris will do in your team? Do you know Sesko? Do you know what Ekitike will do in your team? So I guess it's one to watch out for if Chelsea eventually do that. I mean Liverpool, I think Liverpool at the moment are just chilling because they won the league and they are still. So for Liverpool fans that are getting upset, like when is Vert coming? Vert is going to come, Keke is going to come, and Frimpong is going to come. But that's going to happen. I don't necessarily think there's any need for you guys to put that out. When anything is going to happen, that's going to happen. But is that enough to win the Champions League? I still feel they need a number 9. If obviously Isak is who they want, but I don't think that's going to be possible anymore. So you don't get Isak, maybe Ekitike. If Liverpool get Frimpong and Kirkes and Hurt and a striker, like boom, then ultimately, like bro, we're talking treble or triple type of this project. Man City as well. If you guys have watched this podcast, and in case you would know this, my best midfielder in the world to watch right now, obviously apart from Pedro and Vitinha, is Reinders. And do you know how much it pains me that yesterday Fabrizio Romano dropped the here you go Reinders? I've been saying this on this podcast for months and months. That this guy, a lot of people don't watch him. So when they probably see him, like they probably be so surprised, like who is this guy? Like Reinders, initially the most versatile midfielder in the world. Right? He can play 6, can play 8, can play 10. He's awesome. And the fact that the Master are getting him, you just know that Master are going to be back. When they get him and they get Turkey and Rodri is going to be back, like Mamouche, Haaland, all these guys, Master are going to be back next season. For all the banter and everything that people have made fun of them, Pep is this, Pep is that. Whatever you think about Pep, wherever you think the Man City product is, whether you think Pep can only make money, they're going to be back next season. And you're going to probably compete for Premier League, which is exactly why I said the same thing with Arsenal is Arsenal need to level up that. Because look at the signs Liverpool and Man City are making, and those are probably going to be their 2 biggest competitors. You need to also be getting that type of quality. I like the demanding, but more needs to come in. So you know what? You guys should let me know like what one player you want your club to sign, because that's the next video we'll be doing when KC comes back. One player that your club must sign. So get the question, let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one here. So let's see what happens this night. Drop in your competition for Spain versus France. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so check out all that stuff on the channel. As I said, I'm Jeff. See you guys on the next one. Peace.